My house sits in the middle of a vibrant Hispanic quarter. This large enclave extends from Hillsborough Avenue to as far north as Bush, and the Veterans to as far east as Nebraska. When I first moved from my familiar suburban neighborhood to this seemingly foreign place, I felt some tension between me and my new surroundings. Shopping at the neighborhood Walmart on the corner of Del Mabry and Waters, where English is not spoken, was a constant reminder that I was out of place. A trip to the barbershop to get a low fade on Bush would occasionally translate into a 1980s square high-top haircut. And at my new Publix, trying to show older Spanish-speaking customers how to use the pin pad to pay for their items with only various hand gestures led to several fumbled transactions. Everyday tasks were challenging when trying to operate in an area that speaks a language that you do not know or understand. However, the initial tension slowly transformed into a sense of belonging. With every grocery run, haircut, and transaction tendered, I became more comfortable with my surroundings. I got in my car, on bike, or on foot, however I could get around, and I explored. I interacted with my neighbors, tried new food, and most importantly, I observed. I learned my neighborhood's nuances and slowly discovered what makes it so special. Now, I do not have to look hard to find my territory. When I step outside, I'm in a place that reflects who I am, unabashedly myself. Naturally, I am the most me here. I have an innate love for languages, and living here feels like taking an immersive Spanish class. In my territory, I feel safe to speak in Spanish, even if it might be broken. Beyond challenging me to adapt and learn outside of the classroom, my neighborhood is filled with cultural diversity. My love for sampling different cuisines has taken me to countless corner bakeries, food trucks, and restaurants in my neighborhood. Ultimately, it led me to discover my new favorite after-school snack, pan de bono, a Colombian bread made from yuca starch, cheese, and egg. But my territory is more than a place of comfort or cultural exploration. It reflects my personality. The realization came one night on one of my evening walks with my mother when I heard this lively music projecting from a nearby home. Even though I had never heard the song, the rhythms were infectious. The fast-moving, yet clear 4/4 time kept by the tambora made it easy to synchronize each footstep to the beat. Soon, my mother and I were in a full dance, moving our feet, shoulders, and hips between each blast of the trumpet. This was not the first time I had heard this music. The music is often so loud that I could hear it in my own bedroom. However, this was the first time I heard it in full force. I learned that this style of music is called merengue. Originating in the Dominican Republic, merengue combines influences from Europe, Africa, and the Caribbean. It is often played at house parties for people to sing with or dance to. The sound of this music plays from backyards, restaurants, and bars, filling the air with songs of celebration and dance. Hearing the music made me realize that my neighborhood unapologetically lives out loud. In contrast to the suburbs, people play this music without regard for what others think. This is a macrocosm to the person that I am. I do not conform to the expectations of those around me. Often, when I tell people I don't play a sport, they're often shocked given my appearance and the fact that I attend a school with a strong sports program. However, I'm more interested in studying the classics or investing time in improving on my instrument. At work, out in public, and even at school, it's a constant battle of answering, well, if you don't play a sport, what do you do? When I feel pressured, I know that I can look at my neighborhood, which has become a reflection of the person that I am, to remind myself that I do not have to worry about conforming to others or living up to some expectation. Just like my neighborhood is not ashamed to create a place where they can speak Spanish comfortably, surrounded by food, blasting merengue, I do not fear judgment. I am always authentically myself. Thank you.